Those participating through ReadyTalk, Twitter, and those will be reviewing this as a podcast or flash presentation later. Hi, I'm Derek Workman. I'd like to welcome you to this new session of Product Management Views series. Ryma is one of the sponsors of this webinar. We also have Holly from ReadyTalk, who's also a sponsor, and we'd like to thank them for their generous support of this community and sponsorship as well. I'm going to be your moderator today. It's my pleasure to welcome Andreas Scherer, who will be our presenter. He'll help product managers understand the competitive advantage of critical chain to product management. He comes highly recommended from Dr. Goldratt, the founder of the Theory of Constraints and author of The Critical Chain, the book. For those of you using Twitter, you can follow and add conversation using the hashtag PMV during the webinar and continue the conversation after this webinar on the same hashtag. Later, the conversation will be posted on the Product Management Views blog posting when Val returns. I encourage you to make comments, add questions on this post. I'll also be collecting questions throughout the presentation and through Twitter, and we can review them during the Q&A session. I'm now going to pass the control over to Andrea now, and he'll present this week's topic on the critical chain. At the end of the presentation, I'll come back to conduct the Q&A session.
Okay, Derek, thank you very much for this kind introduction. And then, of course, hello everyone on the call. We have to do more with less. We have to become more nimble. We have to deliver the portfolio. This is basically the speech that executives of two of our customers gave probably 6 years apart. One is a major semiconductor company. The other is a leading pharmaceutical. Even though they are in totally different markets, they share basically the same business issue. The semiconductor company had tremendous success in the 90s. Money came over hand over fist. Operational efficiencies almost didn't matter. And then all of a sudden, the market started to become more competitive. Competition creeped up. And all of a sudden, it did matter when products shipped and how they managed their projects within their R&D organization. The same thing is happening with our pharma client, and is quite frankly a systemic issue across the entire pharmaceutical industry. Right here, a lot of the pharmaceuticals, almost everyone in that industry right now is pushing to get products out, drugs out fast on the marketplace. They all have a huge revenue gaps to fill because drugs are coming off patent. And as you know, with an aggressive generics industry out there, revenues for a particular drug are dropping basically to nothing as soon as the patents are expiring. So for them as well, speed is of the essence. Both companies chose Critical Chain and us to work with them to do exactly that, getting their R&D teed up for better execution, stabilize the product development process and the project management that comes with it, and then from there on accelerate their time to market. What I plan to cover today are a few things. For those of you who haven't heard about Critical Chain, I want to cover some of the key concepts, and I'll stay as brief as possible. There's probably a lot more to talk about it, but it should give you enough information about how this in principle works. And then I show you how we, at least in our experience, how we found how Critical Chain can be best implemented in large-scale R&D environments. And then in preparation to this call, I spoke with Val, and we thought it would be interesting for you to hear about how we, within ProChain, are using Critical Chain to manage our own software development. So at the tail end of this seminar, I will talk a little bit about our experiences and how we deploy Critical Chain there. All right. When we come into companies that manage projects already, then there's typically, and this is true for almost any vertical we're operating in, we see kind of this picture here that you see on in the upper half of the slide.